Well, we're here at the Highlands Hotel for the Glenties electoral area count, and of course, one very happy man is Councillor Seamus O Domnhaill, elected on the first count, and fantastic vote for you, Seamus. You must be absolutely delighted.
Well, I've had worse days, Charlie would put it like that. Delighted with my vote. I suppose I was pressed into a smaller area. The area that I was in was my very local area, and the people of my locality, be it Filcara, Gordahork area, Dunfanaghy and Creasle, stood behind me. They gave me a massive vote of confidence and basically told me that they're happy with the work that I'm doing, want me to continue to represent them in Lifford and to deliver for them, something that I have been doing and something that I'm committed to doing in the future. And that's what it's all about. Whatever it is about politics, all politics is local, as was said by a very famous man, and there's nothing surer than here today where we see in the Glenties electoral area where votes are staying local, but they're staying with candidates to ensure that they have good, strong local representation, which is needed now with a larger council, where we will have to fight harder than ever as a unified force for the people of the Glenties electoral area, and that's what I'm about.
A little bit ironic that you've topped the poll for Fianna Fail, because I remember you coming into politics and you may as well say there's a lot of controversy around the fact that at one stage they didn't seem to want you, and you decided, well, I'll show them, and you came as an independent and were elected. So subsequently joined the party because that's your DNA, obviously. But is there a sense these last couple of days that, well, there you are, I shouldn't have had to wait this long to be elected as a Fianna Fail councillor?
I suppose the way I would look at it is, I've stated before that it's very localised. The politics is very localised. They've gone for the man maybe rather than the party. What happened to me was I wasn't selected to run for the party post 07 when my brother Brian was selected to represent Donegal in the Senate. I then had to decide a tough decision, which wasn't made by me but made by supporters and friends and people in my community, that I should run as an independent. I'd done that. At that occasion I topped the poll. On this occasion, being back with Fianna Fail, I've again topped the poll, and what that shows is that people in my area who voted stronger this time than they did the last time are giving me more of support, more of a vote of confidence. And I think, to be realistic about it, and we can say, okay, I was independent, I was Fianna Fail, they voted for me because they're happy with the work I'm doing, happy with the work Brian is doing, happy with the work rate which we have, and happy with the deliverance which we are doing. We hope to increase that deliverance. I'll be working hard to do so. I've committed to working as a full-time councillor, something that I suppose financially isn't massively gratifying, but it's gratifying when you're delivering. Yeah. It's gratifying when the people are telling you you're doing well, and there's no more gratifying day than here in Glenties when you top the poll, you're first elected, and you've exceeded the quota, and that's what it's all about. It's what we all live for in politics, and it's what I'm happy to have achieved here today, and I'm very thankful to the people who voted for me.
Big responsibility for everybody going back into this new look chamber now with the town councils gone, Seamus, and those towns that had councils are going to be looking very closely at what's going on, how this is going to affect them. We're being told that it's going to affect them adversely, so there's a huge responsibility in everybody. Sinn Féin are going back there very strong. It looks as if Fianna Fail are going back there strong. The independents are going back, and not surprisingly the government parties have got a real thumping in these local elections and possibly in Europe as well. So a big responsibility for everybody that goes back into that chamber.
Well, absolutely, and to look at it from a geographical position, the Glenties electoral area is returning 6 councillors into a 37 council chamber. I suppose there's more of a responsibility on us. We're the largest constituency with the least amount of councillors, I suppose, in it. So what we have to do is try and shout louder, fight harder, and deliver more for our area. It's a large, scattered, rural area. Something which, to be fair, this government has abandoned rural Donegal and rural Ireland. And they have got that message today. Fine Gael may take a seat in this electoral area, but they may do so by the skin of their teeth. So what is happening is that people are given a very clear message. We're not happy with the status quo and we want a bit of change. Whilst I was an independent, they're giving me a vote of confidence, I suppose. But when you take the town councils out of it, it puts more of a burden not on the areas where the town councils would have been, but on the areas where there was no town council, such as Glenties. In Letterkenny, they've gone from 7 to 10. In Glenties, we've gone from 5 to 6. So there's more of an increase in the Letterkenny area, there's more of an increase in the Nishone area. And we must now ensure that the larger areas don't bully the poorer relatives in the western seaboard of the Glenties electoral area. And it's up to us as councillors to ensure that doesn't happen. And I certainly will be foolhardy and steadfast in ensuring we get what we deserve and more. And I'm confident that I can do that.
The outgoing council didn't always cover itself in glory either, Seamus, and you'll know as well as anybody, and we all thought at times, what are they doing up there? What's the point in having them up there? Because they definitely don't look to be working in the interest of the people, and that's something that we can't afford in this county.
Well, one thing that I didn't mention during my election campaign because I didn't want to be drawn into the whole debacle, but one thing I would call on I've now been elected and other councillors have been elected. Before any council meeting progresses, we need to sit down, work out a very strict and stable code of conduct and ensure that everybody stays to it. And when you sign up to it, I suppose you're policing yourself. So I'd be asking all of the councillors of every political persuasion and none to at least respect the people that voted for them and at least have manners in the chamber and I suppose act with a bit of decorum. It's not us as councillors who suffer. It's the people of the Donegal area who suffer when we are up in Lifford and when there's no progress being made. It suits the management, but it doesn't suit the people because we're letting the management off the hook. And that we're there to be answerable to the people, not the management. And that has to be, I suppose, pushed through there. And I'd be asking all parties and none to sit down and to come up with a code of conduct, one that isn't breached, and if it is breached, that we're strong enough and man enough to say, okay, you've done wrong, you must now suffer, whether you go out of a meeting or whatever. But we can't go on with the farcical lunacy situation that was there for the last 5 years, where a small number of members, it has to be said, decided that they could hold up meetings for days, weeks, or whatever time frame they wanted, and just ensure that there was no council work done. I don't like that. The people who elected me don't like that, and that often became more of a talking point than what we were doing. That's not right.
And finally, Seamus, the people have spoken now in all these electoral areas and they've given a big strong mandate. The parties like Sinn Féin and Fianna Fail and the Independents, and they've told the Fine Gael and Labour they're not happy with the way things are going. So the things that you talked about, it would seem like a no-brainer that people would sign up to something like that and get on with the work that's needed to get this county back on its feet again.
Well, absolutely. The next 5 years of Donegal County Council starts tomorrow morning. It's up to us as a group of councillors now if we want to work collectively and constructively or if we want to be destructive. And I'm certainly saying that I want to be as constructive as possible to deliver for the people who voted me in, and I think every party should be of the same opinion. Anybody who wants to be a destructive force shouldn't be in there, shouldn't put their name forward. I want to help people, to assist people and to get more for our county. Anybody who wants to go in and ruin meetings shouldn't be in there, and if they do want to go in for that reason, they're not there for the right motive, and I don't think the people that elected them want them to be there for that.
We'll all be watching with great interest, Seamus. Congratulations, thanks very much.
Thank you.